How did you get your name? Maybe you were named after your mother's favorite book character. Or maybe you were named after a relative. Well, the Vikings had a very interesting and quite a logical way of naming their children. The children were named after their parents. So for example, the famous Viking Leif Erikson was Leif, son of Eric. See what's happening there? And another example. How about Lena Larsdotter? It's Lena, daughter of Lars. As well as being named after their parents, when they would get older, they also got some nicknames. Not like the nicknames that we have these days. The people were named after something they had done or how they behaved. Eric the Red was a very famous Viking, and he got the nickname Eric the Red because he had red hair, but also because he would get quite angry quite often. Then there was another famous Viking called Leif the Lucky, and he was called Leif the Lucky because, well, he was lucky. So what I want you to do now is see if you can come up with what your Viking name would be, and see if you can come up with a Viking nickname for your next door neighbour. Off you go! You've reached the final rune symbol! Well done! Have you found all 10 hidden throughout my Viking videos? If not, go back and have a look after this. Here is the rune alphabet to help you solve this secret message. The answer will be at the end of this video. No peeking! The rune alphabet had 16 symbols. The first use of runes that have been found was from around 2,000 years ago. Have a look at what the rune alphabet looks like. So, if something was very important like a bill or a love note, then the rune symbols would be written on a stick. So if someone was to hand you a stick with rune symbols on it, then you know it's very important. A way that you may have seen rune symbols before is on something called a rune stone. When a Viking died in battle, they would get a rune stone, which was a memorial stone. These had rune symbols and pictures carved into them, and then the stone would be placed somewhere so that everyone could see it. The most well-known rune stone was for King Harald Bluetooth. Bluetooth? You're probably wondering, where have I heard Bluetooth before? Well, Bluetooth can be found on technological devices. It lets the devices connect wirelessly. This symbol here that means Bluetooth is actually the rune stone symbols for the initials of King Harald Bluetooth. He probably didn't think he'd be remembered this way. Another very interesting fact about Viking life was the way that they used to measure things. Now, they might not have found it interesting because it was normal life, but looking back now, I find it fascinating. One of the measurements was called Arlen, and this was the measurement of your elbow to your fingertips. Another measurement was called Toms, and this is the measurement of the width across your thumbnail. Now what I want you to do is look around your classroom and see if you can find 5 things and see if you can measure them using Arlen and Toms. Off you go! Land ahoy! Now, another measurement that the Vikings would use is something called knots. This would be used in a boat, and it would say how fast or slow a boat would be going. The sailors would take a very long rope and tie knots evenly all the way down the rope. When they were in the water, they would slowly let the rope go. However many knots would go in the water would tell them the speed of the boat. We still use this measurement today. Activity time! You are going to be using the rune alphabet to create your own rune stones for someone special in your life. You need to use the rune symbols to write them a lovely message. At the end of this video will be some examples of rune stones for inspiration. When you're finished with your rune stone, get a buddy to check your rune symbols to make sure you've written the right thing. And maybe you can check theirs as well. I cannot wait to see the final products of your rune stones. Now you have fun with that, and I'll see you later. Okay, that's the last lesson video of the Viking unit pack. I hope you've had a wonderful time. There are plenty of other lesson videos and unit packs for your class and your school to use. So go and have a look at those right now, and I'll see you very soon. Goodbye.